always understood that less is more, and that we didn't need to have 1,000 effects to make it work. We just needed to have a handful of effects that work really, really well, and that really aided the storytelling. What is the show? We know what it is on the page, and we know what it is that Ryan wants, but you have 1,000 different voices adding to that story as you...
Every director who worked on the show brought a unique approach to the story that they were telling. Every single one of them brought elements to the show that became the style of American Horror Story.
And cut. Great.
What happened to their sex scene? Rubberman and Moira. Where did that go? I gotta get on the phone with Ryan.
You didn't want to add a lot of things that would take away from the scene. It wasn't going to be a scene about visual effects. It wasn't going to be a scene about fire and blood. It's a scene about characters, and it's a scene about intensity and pain and guilt and fear.
3, 2, 1, go!
Just doesn't match the story. The shot looking great isn't a good enough reason for it to play, and maybe we'll recreate that for next season because it was a nice little thing. I'd kind of like to do it.
Even the Rubberman is so eerie, and there is, even when we shot it, there was some question about who's really inhabiting the Rubberman.
Everything is very script driven. There wasn't an agenda of visual effects. The story was going to kind of pull us all along.
The hood's fully detachable. The harness has anchor points for bondage.
Forgive me, I don't get any of this at all.
The point of the suit's to dehumanize a submissive.
This whole piece that you come up with to light a scene is going to be the most generic. So I always try to reach for the second idea, and the second idea is always harder to find because it's in the back of your head, but it's going to be inherently the more interesting one to watch, and that's how we approached every scene in the show.
I have to say that I always adored Jessica.
Ryan is a visionary, and it's been amazing working with him because I literally find myself just sort of saying, okay, you just share with me what your vision is, and then let me do that.
It's a classic LA Victorian, built around 1920 by the doctors of the stars of the time.
Ryan and I are much about sex and sexuality. It's very much talking about the dangers of giving in to your base instincts and your base needs.
Come on, I can make it.
You want to know what happens next. Even the actors and the audience, that's one thing they have in common. They always want to know what happens next.
Go away, Taylor, all I want!
I mean, that's how Ryan's shooting it. And he goes, that's the most messed up, or like, that's the scariest.
Could you maybe not look at me?
Pretty weird. Kind of sexy too, because it's form-fitting, but weird.
It's the good stuff. It's the good stuff.
Naughty boy.
Everything about the show is really well done. How could you not watch it?
You have to get out of there. That place is evil.
I read it and I was like, whoa, whoa. It's really out there in a really brave, challenging, cool way.
Well, that's all very touching. Where the hell's the babe?
Action, Brennan.
We have great directors who are really creative visually, and what we like to do is bring people like that in and make sure they understand the tone, but give them the freedom to sort of play.
The basement is the epicenter, I think, of whatever evil spirit or force is in the house. The original house did have this basement, but it was a little flat, so when we came back to the stage, when we went to bring the sets home to the stages here at Paramount, you have to now translate that into physical terms that can be shot easily, and walls have to move so you can get in and out with cameras and that sort of thing.
There's something there, and it's alluring, but it's also scary.
every episode.
Readily recognizable,
The babies are coming!
but they are symbolic of the forces at work in this world now.
Our readers and viewers asked me for this stuff. Can we play with you?
What are we doing? What is this? Scissor, cut, paper?
Rock, paper, scissors, lizard,
You want to
Spock. Yeah.
What? Rules of rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so it's okay. Scissors decapitate lizard. Spock smashes scissors. Lizard eats paper. Note that each
It's
gesture
from the
beats two
TV
of
show
the
The Big Bang Theory, if you know.
Oh, really? This is a game on Big Bang Theory?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock?
Yeah, they are fans of Star Trek.
I think I should be more of a fan of the Big Bang Theory show, because they...
When I first read the pilot, I was so excited because I thought this is fresh and this is new and this is exciting.
Why are you in my house?
I read all the scripts prior to starting to shoot the show. What was interesting, it wasn't just the horror or the supernatural element.
My question is for Sylar. How did you get the character to play like the super awesome, super sexy villain that is Sylar?
I believe it's Sylar.
I'd be discovering something new about these characters.
You don't know what's going on. It's scary, it's spooky, it'll mess with your head.
Please!
I guess these guys were into the kinky stuff, huh? Should I try another?
That's not funny.
I think it look good, man.
Holy shit.
Ben and Violet and Vivian are artists you still had an affection for, and I think Dylan has that. He has the ability to really be very, very dark without being unlikable.
Right.
Make music too. Yeah. What tools? Are you Logic, you Pro Tools, Reason, GarageBand? Reason. So that's a serious thing. Yeah, I'm making a rap song right now. About latex? About air? No. It's called I'll Tap That Fucking Ass. When does this single drop? Next year after the holiday.
We have to trust each other completely because our scenes are somewhat sexual in nature, and we have to touch each other and kiss each other and be intimate, and all these things that are difficult in life.
So people love to claim that they are the #1 Star Trek fan, that they know everything there is to know about Star Trek. I want to see which of the two of you guys knows more about this movie. I've got
About this movie?
Yeah, and just shout the answers out, and I want to see who gets it.
Shout it out. You're standing right here. I don't
Well,
want
you
to
know.
shout right in your face.
Okay, question 1. What is the name of the enemy Klingon planet?
Nibiru? No, Kronos. You get some.
That's Chris 1, Zach 0.
Right.
Good, why wouldn't they be? Their one mistake was giving up me.
You know what I saw was the snow jumping, which is even scarier. The ski jumping. The ski jumping. The ski jumping.
Everybody's
Which these guys.
You know those brownies backstage were only for the crew.
Were they? Sorry. But it was amazing. These people fly 300 feet in the air, and they don't fall. None of them fell.
Well, how did they get back down?
They stop themselves. They fly, and then they do the lean.
Oh, right.
They
That's
land
amazing.
and stop
Yeah.
themselves.